Shalom, my friends. I am Rabbi Yosef, and I am here today to share with you a spiritual technology that has the power to completely reshape your financial reality. What if I told you that the key to unlocking a life of immense wealth, of profound abundance, is not found in a stock market tip or a complex business strategy, but in the very first 60 seconds of your day? In this video, I will reveal the one morning habit that will make you rich in 30 days. This is not a metaphor. This is not an exaggeration. This is a sacred protocol, a divine mechanism that I discovered in a moment of my own deepest desperation, a technology that took me from a state of constant anxiety and scarcity to a life of overflow and divine circulation. Before we begin, I want you to go to the comments right now and write, "I am the architect of my abundance." Declare it. Own it. Let this be the first step in reprogramming your consciousness for wealth. And if you are truly serious about this journey, if you are ready to leave the desert of just enough and enter the promised land of more than enough, then I invite you to subscribe to this channel. We are building a global community of spiritual warriors, and we are on a mission to reach 1 million subscribers, 1 million souls awakened to their divine inheritance. For those who are ready to accelerate their journey, for a limited time, I am opening the doors to the Torah Millionaire Business School for just $299. This is where I unveil the full Torah wealth system. The doors are closing soon. The link is in the comments. Now, let us begin. I know what it's like to wake up with a knot in your stomach. For years, my mornings were a ritual of quiet desperation. The first thing I would reach for, before my feet even touched the floor, was my phone. I would scroll through a feed of curated perfection, a relentless stream of other people's successes, and with each swipe, my own sense of inadequacy would deepen. I was performing what I now call the morning poverty ritual. It was a subconscious declaration to the universe that my own life was not enough, that I needed to import a sense of reality from the outside world before I could even begin my day. I was starting each morning from a place of deficit, of spiritual bankruptcy. My days were a reflection of this. I was busy, I was working hard, but I was always just getting by. There was a constant, low-grade anxiety humming beneath the surface of my life, a fear that it could all fall apart at any moment. I was praying, I was studying, but my prayers felt like they were hitting a brass ceiling. I was living in the paradox of being a man of God who was a slave to the anxieties of the world. The breaking point came on a cold Tuesday morning in February. I had just lost a significant investment, a deal that I was sure was my ticket to financial freedom. I woke up that day, and the first thought that entered my mind was, "I am a failure." The thought was so powerful, so visceral, that it felt like a physical blow. I lay there in the dark, the blue light of my phone illuminating the dust motes in the air, and I felt a profound sense of hopelessness. It was in that moment of absolute surrender that a memory, a whisper from my childhood, surfaced in my consciousness. It was the memory of my grandfather, a man of deep faith and quiet strength. I remembered him standing by his window every morning, his eyes closed, whispering the same two words before he did anything else. Modeh ani, I give thanks. It is the first prayer a Jewish child learns, a simple declaration of gratitude for the return of the soul. But in that moment of my own darkness, I understood it not as a child's prayer, but as a profound piece of spiritual technology. The Kabbalists teach that the first thought of the day is the seed of the entire day. It is the rudder that steers the ship of your consciousness. With that first thought, you are programming the fabric of reality. You are telling the universe what you expect to see. My first thought had been, I am a failure, and so my reality was one of failure. My grandfather's first thought was, I give thanks, and his reality was one of quiet, unshakable abundance. I realized that the battle for wealth is not won in the marketplace. It is won in the first 60 seconds of your day. This is not just ancient wisdom, it is modern science. Neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, confirms that what we focus on, we create more of. When you start your day with gratitude, you are literally rewiring your brain to see opportunity, to recognize blessings, to attract abundance. You are tuning your consciousness to the frequency of wealth. Think of it like a radio. If you are tuned to the station of scarcity, all you will hear are songs of lack and limitation. But if you consciously, deliberately tune your dial to the frequency of abundance, you will begin to pick up a whole new broadcast, a symphony of opportunity, of synchronicity, of divine favor. That morning, lying in my bed, I did not reach for my phone. I closed my eyes, and for the first time in years, I whispered the words, Modeh Ani. I said them not as a rote prayer, but as a conscious act of reprogramming. I was taking back control of my own consciousness. I was firing my old programmer, the one who was feeding me a script of scarcity and fear, and I was hiring a new one who would write a story of abundance and divine favor. In that moment, I named the enemy. I gave a name to the insidious habit that had been robbing me of my power for years, the morning poverty ritual. It is the ritual of starting your day from the outside in, of letting the world tell you who you are before you have told the universe who you are. It is the ritual of checking your email before you have checked in with your soul. It is the ritual of consuming before you have created. And I understood that to defeat this enemy, I needed a new ritual, a new protocol. I needed a spiritual technology that was more powerful, more compelling than the siren song of my smartphone. And so, from the depths of ancient wisdom and the crucible of my own personal crisis, the Divine Abundance Awakening Protocol was born. This protocol is not a request. It is a command. It is you, as a co-creator with the divine, programming your reality for wealth. It consists of 3 simple, non-negotiable steps. You must perform them every single morning for 30 days, before you speak to anyone, before you check a single message, before your feet touch the floor. Step 1. The Sacred Gratitude Declaration. The moment you regain consciousness, before you even open your eyes, you will say the words, Modeh Ani Lefanecha, which means, I give thanks before you. But you will not just say the words. You will feel them. You will feel the miracle of your own existence, the fact that your soul has been returned to you, that you have been granted another day of life, another opportunity to create, to love, to build. The why behind this is critical. Gratitude is the frequency of reception. You cannot receive a gift with a closed hand. When you start your day with gratitude, you are opening your hand to the universe and declaring, I am ready to receive. You are signaling to the divine that you recognize the abundance that already surrounds you, and in that recognition, you create space for more. Step 2. The Abundance Visualization. For the next 3 minutes, you will close your eyes and visualize your ideal life in vivid detail. You will not see it as something you are chasing, but as something you are already living. You will feel the leather of the car you are driving. You will smell the ocean from the balcony of your dream home. You will hear the laughter of your family, secure and provided for. You will see yourself walking into your business, greeting your team, making decisions from a place of confidence and clarity. You will feel the weight of the success, the peace, the overflow. The why is this: your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real and an imagined experience. When you visualize your success with emotional intensity, you are creating the neural pathways, the energetic blueprint for that reality to manifest. You are making the unknown known. You are calling your future into your present. Step 3. The first act of generosity. Before you have your coffee, before you have your breakfast, you will perform one small act of giving. It could be placing $1 in a charity box you keep by your bed. It could be sending a text message to a friend, telling them how much you appreciate them. It could be preparing a cup of coffee for your spouse. The act itself is less important than the intention behind it. The why is the most profound of all. The universe is a system of circulation. Wealth is not something you acquire. It is something that flows through you. To receive, you must first give. Your first act of the day must be an act of circulation, a declaration to the universe that you are not a reservoir of scarcity, but a channel of abundance. You are priming the pump of divine circulation. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are voices of doubt whispering in your mind. Let us call them out into the light. The first objection: "But Rabbi, I'm not religious." I want you to understand that this is not about religion. It is about spiritual physics. This is consciousness technology. The universe operates according to immutable laws, just like the law of gravity, the law of cause and effect, the law of circulation, the law of attraction. These are not religious beliefs. They are the operating system of reality. You do not need to believe in them for them to be true. You only need to align with them. When you drop a stone, it falls. You do not need to believe in gravity for it to work. The same is true for these spiritual laws. The second objection: "But Rabbi, I don't have time for this. I have to get the kids ready for school. I have to get to work." My friend, you don't have time not to do this. This protocol takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes to program the next 24 hours for success. You give hours to your work, to your obligations, to the demands of the world. Can you not give 5 minutes to the architect of your own reality? This protocol does not consume time. It creates time. It creates the focus, the clarity, and the energy that will make you more effective, more efficient in everything else that you do. The third objection: "But Rabbi, I've tried morning routines before. They never stick." This is different. Those other routines were likely focused on the what without the why. They were a series of empty actions. The Divine Abundance Awakening Protocol is a technology of consciousness. It is not about what you are doing. It is about who you are becoming. It is a daily practice of embodying your wealthiest, most abundant self. It is not a chore. It is a coronation. It is you, every single morning, placing the crown of abundance upon your own head. So what happened when I began to practice this protocol? The first few days, I felt a subtle shift. The knot of anxiety in my stomach began to loosen. I was less reactive, less thrown off by the small frustrations of the day. By the end of the first week, something remarkable happened. I received a call from a client who had been silent for months. He wanted to move forward with a project that was larger than anything we had done before. Coincidence? I think not. I had changed my frequency, and the universe was responding in kind. By the end of 30 days, my life was unrecognizable. Opportunities began to flow to me from the most unexpected places. I found a new investor for my business, one who was perfectly aligned with my vision. I reconnected with old friends who brought new ideas, new energy into my life. The constant, low-grade hum of anxiety was replaced by a deep, abiding sense of peace, a knowing that I was supported, that I was guided, that I was a channel for a flow of abundance that was far greater than myself. This is not just my story. I have taught this protocol to thousands of students in my Torah Millionaire Business School, and the results are always the same. A student from California, a graphic designer who was struggling to make ends meet, practiced this protocol for 30 days. On the 31st day, she landed her dream client, a contract that was worth more than she had made in the previous 6 months. A student from London, a real estate agent who was on the verge of quitting, used this protocol to shift his consciousness. He went from selling 1 house a month to selling 5. The mechanism is simple. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. When you change your consciousness, you change your reality. When you start your day from a place of abundance, you begin to see the world through the eyes of abundance. You notice the opportunities that were always there, but that you were blind to. You attract the people, the resources, the ideas that are in alignment with your new frequency. You are not chasing wealth, you are allowing it to find you. I had another student, a man from Texas who owned a small construction business. He was drowning in debt, working 80 hours a week, and on the brink of bankruptcy. He started this protocol, and in the first week, he said nothing changed. He was frustrated. He was ready to give up. But he had committed to 30 days, so he persisted. In the second week, he noticed a small shift. He felt a little calmer, a little more focused. In the third week, he had an idea for a new way to bid on projects, a way to offer more value and stand out from his competition. In the fourth week, he won a contract so large that it not only cleared all his debts, but also gave him enough capital to expand his business. He told me, "Rabbi, the opportunities were always there. I was just too blind with anxiety to see them." This is the power of consciousness. This is the power of starting your day from the inside out. And so, my friends, the choice is yours. You can continue to perform the morning poverty ritual. You can continue to start your day from a place of deficit, of anxiety, of scarcity. Or you can make a new choice. You can choose to install a new operating system. You can choose to practice the Divine Abundance Awakening Protocol. I challenge you for the next 30 days to take back your mornings, to give the first 5 minutes of your day not to the world, but to the architect of your world. I want you to go to the comments right now and write, "I commit to the Divine Abundance Awakening." Let this be your contract with yourself, your declaration to the universe. And for those who are ready to go deeper, for those who want the full system, the complete spiritual technology for building a life of unimaginable wealth, the doors to the Torah Millionaire Business School are open, but not for long. The link is in the comments. This is your moment. This is your time. The life you have been dreaming of is not in some distant future. It is waiting for you in the silence of your own morning. May the Creator of the universe, the source of all abundance, bless you and keep you. May He shine His face upon you and be gracious to you. May He lift His countenance upon you and give you peace, a peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace that is the fertile ground for a life of unimaginable wealth and overflow. May you wake up each morning with a heart full of gratitude, a mind full of vision, and a spirit full of generosity. May you walk in the world as a living, breathing testament to the truth that you are a child of the King and that your inheritance is abundance. May you become a channel of blessing, a conduit of light, a force for good in this world. And may you, in the next 30 days, witness a transformation in your financial life so profound, so miraculous, that you will have no choice but to give all the glory to the one who is the source of it all. Shalom.